Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Vince Guinness Stadium, getting ready for the second three-game set between the Bend Elks and the Springfield Drifters. Here with former Drifter, now current Elk, in Cole Calnon, pitched on Sunday, went 7 innings and limited them to no earned runs. What was it like being back with your playing against your former summer ball club, now representing the Elks?
It was a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time in Eugene/Springfield, so just going back there, it was good to be back, see some buddies that I hadn't seen in a bit, Coach Embry and Rocco.
So I'm curious what brought you to Bend, because ironically your last pitching outing with Springfield was against the Elks here on August 2nd. You had one of your better outings of the year, when I believe 8 innings pitched and had 6 strikeouts in that game. So was that a little precursor to drawing you to Bend?
I don't know if I'd say that, but I've known Sales, our former head coach now, but I've known him for 4 or 5 years, so wanted to have a chance to play for him every day and just pick his brain a little bit in depth and just meet a new group of guys in new city. So that was more the thought process.
And so in that Springfield series that the Elks just played, prior to being on the mound on Sunday, you were turning double plays with Vinny in the field, getting hits and things like that. I know you've been a dual sport guy, two-way guy. That's the word I'm looking for. So what has enabled you to be a two-way guy your whole life?
I mean, I have a theory that position players are usually better at throwing strikes and pitching because you don't have as much pressure, because you know if you don't do well, then you're still going to get in the lineup and play in the field. So it's a little easier to perform when you have no pressure on you. And I don't know, just I've been doing it my whole life. So doing only pitching or only hitting feels weird. So I think being able to do both and not worrying too much about succeeding in either one enables me to just be better at both of them. I don't know, just takes more pressure off, makes the game easier.
So when you were coming out of high school and were going to Lane CC, was that something that they were drawn to you for your dual two-way abilities?
Not really, to be honest. I pitched really well in high school, but I wasn't throwing hard. I was pretty small too, so my summer ball coach was the one that got me the connection to Lane, and I was playing corner outfield actually because both our infielders are going to Portland, and they said they need a second baseman. I was a second baseman in high school, so I went there, and our coach said maybe 5-10 innings first year. Then COVID happened. I ended up throwing like 7 innings in the first 2 weeks, and then my second year I didn't pitch, and then the next 2 I threw probably 100 innings, pretty close to it. So it wasn't the plan, but it ended up happening, and was still able to play in the infield every day.
So there literally is no desire or one over the other. You just like doing them both?
I think if you asked me this a year ago, I enjoy pitching more, but I've kind of leaned more towards hitting and infield. But if you had to make me pick one, I would definitely pick hitting. I don't know if I could do the PO life, sitting around for X amount of days and until your next appearance. I can't sit still and not be involved for that long. So that would be a tough part. But yeah, infield would be the choice.
So after you left Lane CC and were searching for your 4-year, you ended up at Northwest Nazarene College, and you said a large reason why you ended up there was because they were going to provide you that opportunity to both play infield and on the mound. Why was it so important for you to have the opportunity to still play both?
I think just personally, I wanted to do both. I had some interest from some bigger schools just to pitch, but I don't know. I wasn't too interested in just pitching. So I think to utilize my skill set the best, I wanted to do both, and they gave me a chance, and I ended up loving it there.
Take me inside your baseball mind for a second and how that adjusts from when you're on the bump and then when you're in the batter box in the field, and how you process that.
On the mound, I'm definitely more assertive and like aggressive, kind of some expletives in my head, I would say, towards the opponent, but just for a competitive edge. But when I'm at the plate, I'm trying to relax as much as possible. The the tenser you are and the tighter I am, I really struggle when I'm amped up to hit. So just being able to relax and not try and do too much, because as soon as you start tensing up and start thinking too hard, you're in trouble. Swing speed goes down, everything goes bad. So just trying to relax and let be a little more defensive in the box, if that makes sense. Like I'm not trying to go get the ball out of the pitcher's hand and hit it 500 feet. So just stepping back, relaxing, and letting the ball come to me and do what I can do.
What's a typical practice regimen for you? Because there's the PO life of you go, you do your armbands, you do your PO work, but then you also have to work on your infield skills, not to mention also get in the cages and get some hacks in. So what is a typical practice, typical week, just training regimen for you?
I guess it depends on the game schedule, but usually whenever I throw a lot, I like to throw the next day pretty light and then take the day off after, and just communicating with coaches. They're usually fine with that. So I mean, I've been doing it for 5 years in college now, so I kind of know what my body needs at this point. So um, yeah, but just a day-to-day schedule. Usually I'll throw like a pitcher. I don't do my like my pregame throwing or my pre-practice throwing is very pitcher-ish with bands. I'm not much of a band guy, but like the same way I would prepare for a start is the way I prepare for pitching. And then just after that I'll do mostly infield stuff and hitting. So I would say the only part of pitching that I really do on the consistent basis is my warm up and my throwing, and then the bullpens, obviously. But my JUCO coach told me, like, you don't need to do PFPs as a infielder, because if you can't field a ball and throw it to a base, you shouldn't be playing in the infield in the first place. So PFPs are a little, I mean, other than getting over and covering first and then picks and looks, like it's a little monotonous for a guy who is getting hundreds of fungos hit at you every day. Getting two hoppers back to you on the mound is kind of, I don't know, you could focus your energy somewhere else. So
Has it been a bit of an enjoyment to challenge yourself through these 5 years of your college career to balance all of this?
yeah, I think that's the fun part of baseball, is failing and then taking a look, readjusting, and then seeing that turn into some success. So my first 2 years of school, I was pretty terrible, to be honest. I just didn't play well, didn't pitch well, didn't hit well. I've always been pretty decent in the field, but yeah, not swinging it well. Especially that 2021 year really kind of made me take a step back and realize, like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to get bigger, I need to get faster, I need to get stronger. And then just focusing on the swing a little more, getting back to what was natural for me. I was trying too hard to be somebody I wasn't, especially on the field. So I think just taking a step back, relaxing, and understanding what I do well has really been the fun part, because I struggled a few years and then ended up having a couple good years the last three. So I think that's been the most rewarding part, is being successful in high school. Obviously everybody who plays college baseball is successful in high school, but going from, I think a lot of guys struggle with being, everybody's the guy in high school, and then you get to college and you're not the guy anymore. And just going through being high and then going down my first 2 years and then coming back up has been the most rewarding part, along with just meeting so many, hundreds of players and quite a few coaches. So I think that's been the best part of it all.
Was there a moment during that shift period where you took a step back to where, like, wow, I get to basically do what a little league kid gets to do? I get to go pitch, I get to go play in the field, I get to go out and just be a baseball player.
Yeah, I think so. Just being able to take a step back and realize, like, I'm already lucky to be in this situation in the first place. So, like, nobody has expectations on me already, I think. Granted, there are people, but at the end of the day, like, nobody's going to really care if you had a bad season in JUCO in 2021. Like, just being able to relax and be able to realize that it's not as big of a deal as like I may be thinking it is in my head, and like playing relaxed and just not taking myself too seriously, especially on the field, has like I wouldn't say it wasn't one moment, but just it was a chain of things that made me realize like, all right, I'm lucky to be in this situation in the first place. Like baseball's a game of failure. I'm expected to fail already, so I might as well just play relaxed, do what I do, and see if I can be more successful.
What's going to be the big theme that you're going to take away from college baseball, summer ball, that you're going to have stick with you through the rest of your life?
I think just having people skills and understanding like it's not all about the game. It's about your buddies that you meet. Like I'm sure I'll have buddies in my wedding that I met in JUCO. So like it's not all about putting up numbers and playing the game. It's about like the bus rides, the early morning waits, whatever the situation is. The people you meet and the people skills that you develop last you way more than baseball, because most guys, I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but 99% of guys who play college ball don't play professionally. So if you're too focused on one, trying to get to the next step instead of just enjoying the moment and the process, you can do both. But at the same time, like nobody, like we talked about, nobody's going to remember the season you had in whatever year it is, or like if you had a bad play in the game and cost a game, but like you'll remember when you're 50 years old, like that was a great dude. I love playing with him, and he's one of my good friends. That's what people remember. So that's kind of been the focus the last 2 years, is just appreciating the moment, still having the opportunity, because if COVID never happened, I'd be done playing. So just appreciating that and appreciating the guys around me who are going to battle every day and grinding it out. It's not a easy, I mean, it's fun, but it's not an easy thing to do. It just putting in 40 plus hour weeks every single, or it's pretty physically demanding is the word I would say. Like mentally it's a blast. I enjoy going to practice every day and playing every day. So just the physical toll is the hard part, but it's all worth it at the end of the day when you meet great people.
Well, Cole, I really appreciate that in-depth perspective. I know you've been around the game for a long time, especially through your college career, and we're grateful to have you here on the Elks, and hope you have a great rest of your summer.
Thank you.
Elks taking on the Springfield Drifters in the first of a 3-game set here at Vince Guenna Stadium tonight at 6:35.